What is cerebral palsy?
Thank you for coming to my channel. I am Todd. Hopefully, you have watched my first segment, and I excited that you are interested in watching my videos to better understand what a disabled person goes through in life. Yes, I am a disabled person and I have cerebral palsy. So, you ask, what is cerebral palsy? There are 100,000 different cases of cerebral palsy. Instead of discussing all of them, I am going to teach about my type. Oh, just because someone has my same diagnosis does not make them the same as me. Every single person is different, regardless of their disability or no disability. I think everyone forgets that, but it is easy to make jokes or talk to me if I am a child. What are the early signs of cerebral palsy, CP?
Physical developmental delays. The child is slow to reach milestones such as rolling over, sitting, crawling, and walking. Abnormal muscle tone. Body parts are floppy or too stiff. Abnormal posture. Sometimes seizure disorder and possible learning delays. Motor speech disorders like dysorthria or apraxia make it difficult to produce clear speech or talk at all. Feeding and swallowing difficulties. Remember, all people with CP are different. Plus, there are different types depending on what part of the brain was injured in womb or during birth. Some types: spastic quadriplegia, aditoid. What I have: spastic diplegia.
I was born in 1972. And there were about 5 doctors working on my case. 4 of them said that I should be institutionalized because they didn't believe I would develop or be good enough or capable. Now, thankfully we don't tell families this anymore in the United States and institutions no longer exist. Before I was physically born, I was developing fine. It wasn't until it was time for me to be born, that during delivery, umbilical cord was around my neck. This caused me to lose oxygen for about 5 seconds. This period without air caused mild damage to my brain that resulted in me having cerebral palsy, CP. So, am I mad about it? No, because the man upstairs made me this way, and it was the key to my life. I'm lucky to have gotten these opportunities. Yeah, I need help feeding, drinking, shaving, brushing teeth, and daily things. I can't walk and talk, but I'm using a power wheelchair to go places and I use a speech device to talk to people. I was adopted and I'm blessed to have loving parents. My parents didn't know anything about cerebral palsy but they still adopted me. Maybe they told each other they'd learn together? They had a doctor who understood cerebral palsy and he saved me. I think that he saw something special inside of me. I bet my parents were scared, but they did it because they have faith and a big heart. I am glad that I have CP and am adopted because I have a loving family, faith, and I am healthy. I was fortunate that my parents always looked at me like a child, not a disabled child. Please remember, everyone is different, so my parents did what is best for me. They loved me, took care of me, and helped me have freedom. When I was child, I did get in trouble. Children who get in trouble learn from their mistakes. I'm not only talking about disabled people. I am talking about you too. I'm sure that your parents grounded you for something. Guess what? My parents grounded me too. This really helped me to learn from my mistakes. For some, with more complex disabilities this might be more difficult, but it is okay because no one is the same or is perfect. Can you believe that some people think that cerebral palsy is contagious? You are wrong because it is not communicable, you are safe. I know that because people have been around me all my lifetime. They don't have cerebral palsy because it is not contagious. I had a few relationships and they are fine too. Cerebral palsy is not a flu bug or cold that is contagious. Is it allergies, arthritis, or contagious? No, CP is caused by an injury to our developing brain which changes how our body works. Say if I didn't have the cord around my neck, would I walk? Talk? Feeding myself? Drink by myself? Nobody can ask or answer that question because there is no real answer to that question. Now I don't want to talk about myself but rather share some more about different kinds of cerebral palsy. Cerebral palsy is usually caused by damage to a baby's brain while it's growing in the womb. Types of problems that could occur: damage to part of the brain called white matter, possibly as a result of a reduced blood or oxygen supply, which is called paraventricular leukomalacia. Cerebral palsy does not directly affect behavior, but lack of speech or physical abilities can cause your child to become easily frustrated and act out. Behavior problems like screaming or being destructive generally don't occur without reason. Remember that behavior is a form of communication. If someone doesn't have speech or a means to communicate or physically manipulate their world, then they will exhibit different behaviors to gain attention and get their needs met. Many people look at people with a disability or cerebral palsy and automatically think that they have behavior problems. Do I have behavior problems? No, I don't. I have a motor disability caused by damage to the developing brain. That means a lot of things, but for me, I don't have good motor control to do the everyday things that most people can easily do by themselves. But I do have strong skills that help me get the most out of my life. I love numbers and technology. I am really good with spreadsheets. Learning how to use them is hard at first, but if people understand it, good for you. But, if you don't understand, it is fine too because everyone likes and is strong at different things. I love working with spreadsheets because I can build information in an organized way the way that I want. Every year I make a budget for myself and it helps me to save what I want. So, I am trying to say here, is that my diagnosis of cerebral palsy is only a label that has symptoms but that it does not define who I am. It isn't a disease, a behavior problem nor contagious. It is a word to help us for our doctors to understand how to help us be our best selves and to help us receive the help that we might need. All people with cerebral palsy have problems with movement and posture, but just because there is a physical disability, this doesn't mean that there is a cognitive disability. Some people with more complex cases of CP have related conditions such as intellectual disability, seizures, problems with vision, hearing, or speech, changes in the spine, such as scoliosis, or joint problems, such as contractures. Some children may experience little to no pain, whereas others may require medical treatment to manage painful symptoms. Children born with cerebral palsy can expect to live a long life. Those with the longest life expectancies usually have more mobility, better medical care, and adaptive equipment, greater autonomy, and independence. There is no cure for cerebral palsy and the condition lasts for life. Cerebral palsy patients go on to live a healthy and normal life as they transition into adulthood. More complex types of CP can decrease life expectancy due to significant physical and intellectual impairments and associated health conditions. Children who have cerebral palsy often cry grievously without a cause, known as a neurogenic cry. Babies with stiffness issues might also cry out of pain. To close this part of my channel, I would like to say here, you don't know what you are missing if you avoid getting to know a disabled person. We are human, the same as you. We want a life to the fullest. Maybe we look funny to you, but maybe you look funny to us. Remember, we are all people. So, if you see a disabled person, please don't be afraid or scared to meet us, because it might be the best thing that happens in your life. I have a lot of best friends because I went up to them. Yeah, I have cerebral palsy, I drive a power wheelchair, and I use a speech device to communicate. But just like you, I love music and hanging out, or taking care of my home and my cat, Martha. Just like you, I want to meet people and I want to teach people to better understand CP and physical disabilities, because we are people too. My disability doesn't stop me because I am person. Thank you for the time to watch my video and please send it to your friends. Thank you.